Here's a little bit of good news in light of an arson which destroyed a mosque recently. I'm going to read an article in which members of one of the oldest synagogues let me just see where it is, East Bay, and the mosque was in Stockton. Well, apparently there was an arson, and the congregants of the synagogue reached out in the Muslims' time of need who had their mosque burnt down. Here's an article I'm going to read, and as usual, it's down below. Stockton. Worshippers at the Masjid al-Aman Mosque congregate in a nondescript office park on Pershing Avenue in North Stockton. The mosque has been around for only a few years, and its small membership has diminished in the aftermath of an unsolved arson fire 7 months ago. Temple Sinai in Oakland is the oldest synagogue in the East Bay, dating back more than 130 years, with nearly 1,000 member families. In terms of its history and size, it would seem to be much farther from Masjid al-Aman than a mere 70-minute drive. And yet, when members of Temple Sinai learned of the fire that damaged Masjid al-Aman, they were moved. Recently, the temple donated $100 to Masjid al-Aman. Mosque officials say it is the only contribution they have received from outside of the Muslim community. That's wonderful, said Basel Karabala, the mosque's vice president and treasurer. It's a beautiful gesture. Unfortunately, people don't know the history behind that. You had Jews and Muslims and Christians living side by side for thousands of years. The flare-ups have only been in the last 60 or 70 years. Before that, for eons, we had been living in peace. The temple's rabbi, Andrew Strauss, also noted the relationship between Jews and Muslims. Strauss said that in making the contribution, his congregation was saying, yes, there have been strains and challenges, but like us, you were created in God's image. And when one suffers tragedy, one forgets the strains in a relationship and says, you are our brothers. Masjid al-Aman's 60 members worship in office space in the same office park that housed their previous facility, which was destroyed by the fire. Mosque officials are looking for a more permanent rental site with the long-range goal of purchasing a facility. They do not plan to apply the temple's donations to rent and also said there are no plans to put the $100 into a fund to be applied later toward purchase of a facility because Muslims' religious law forbids investing money for interest. Instead, the mosque plans to make a donation of its own. Maybe we can use that money and feed the poor, maybe in the Bay Area in Stockton, Karabala said. Strauss said, I was not aware of that. That's a decision for them to make. We're saying, losing a building in a fire with the emotional and physical harm that causes, we want to help you. We wanted to reach out to the Muslim community and say, we are brothers in faith. We've been there. We remember and we want to reach out to you. So, just some good news. I know most of my presentations are rather bleak in light of all the propaganda out there against Muslims, but every once in a while you see something that shows you that there is progress made and serves as a lesson to people with anti-Muslim or anti-Semitic sentiments that there's much more in common between these groups, these Muslims and Jews, than a lot of those pundits out there who are trying to drive a wedge between Muslims and other people would have you believe.